Hello and welcome back to your mat. Today we're going to do a short flow and we're just going to build on as we go. So we'll get started right away. No props are needed unless you have favorite props you like for your class. Go ahead and grab those if you like, but otherwise nothing's needed. And we'll get started with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. So we're going to start in bound angle pose. Just open up here. So you're bringing the soles of your feet together. You can bring your feet out further in front of you or closer in. You decide. Your knees may be further up. Just see where you are today to start with. We're going to arrive here on our mat. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, get tall, and then exhale and go ahead and fold forward any amount here. So we're going to start with this pose, and we're also going to end with this pose. So really notice where you're starting at, where your starting point is. Notice if your knees are further up, maybe you're needing to sit further up because you're rounded in your back. That's perfectly fine. Work to straighten that back instead of being hunched over and trying to round yourself over, because obviously you can get a lot further down when you're really rounded. So what we're really working for is a nice straight flat back and then hinging forward at the hips. So you may not come down as far, and that's okay. And we're really helping to really just open up this whole area here along in our legs. So again, we're going to finish with this pose. So just notice where you are right now, and we'll see where we are at the end of class after we've moved through a little bit of a flow. And even though it's a short flow, you can still get some benefit and you'll still get some stretch and opening. So let's take another inhale there. And an exhale. And then go ahead and come all the way up. And now we're going to come up into mountain pose. So we'll start our little flow here. And we're just going to, it's going to be a little repetitious as we go. And you're going to start to see that we're just going to add on, layer on one pose at a time. So here we go. We're going to start in mountain pose. So my feet are about hip distance apart. Hands are down to my sides. Take a nice inhale there. And then exhale and step your right foot back into warrior one. So warrior one, our hips are squared to the front of the mat. And my back right foot here is at a 45-degree angle or so. And then go ahead and bring your arms up into cactus shapes, so like a goalpost. So open your arms up in your chest, really open up here. Inhale there, and then exhale and step forward on your mat, back into mountain. And we'll do the other side. Inhale there, and step back into warrior one on the other side. And let's see if I can not fall over there. Lose my balance sometimes. And then go ahead and inhale into your cactus arms there. And then exhale and step forward on your mat. And now we're going to add on. So from here, go ahead and inhale. And exhale, step back into warrior one on the right side. So my right foot is back. Bring up those cactus arms. Inhale there. Stay for the exhale. And then we're going to pivot on that back right foot and come up into a high lunge. So now I'm up on the ball of my toes here, the ball of my foot, my right foot. And bring your arms up overhead into a nice high lunge now. So we just shifted that back foot a little bit, but otherwise our hips are still squared to the front of the mat. And then go ahead and step forward, and we'll do the other side. Inhale here, and exhale, step back with your left foot into your warrior one. Cactus those arms again. Inhale, stay for the exhale. And then inhale, go ahead and pivot on that back foot, that back left foot. Keep your balance there. You can always widen out your stance to help here. And come into your high lunge. So now I'm on the ball of my back left foot. Right knee is deeply bent. Hips are square to the front of the mat. And exhale and come forward on your mat. And adding on from there. Here we go. Inhale in your mountain pose. Exhale back into warrior one. Cactus those arms. And then go ahead and pivot on that back right foot and come into your high lunge. And now we're going to open up and add on to warrior two. So now we're going to have our hips coming to the side of our mat, and we're open up into warrior two here. So get nice and long and strong here. And then go ahead and release that and step back to the front of your mat. Adding on the other side. So we'll go to the other side here. Go ahead and inhale in your mountain. Exhale, back into your warrior one on the left side. So my left foot is back. Cactus those arms again. Go ahead and pivot on that back left foot and come into your high lunge. Rise your arms up overhead. And then we're going to add on the warrior two here. So go ahead and Open up to the side of your mat. So now my hips are square to the left side of my mat. Come into warrior two. Then go ahead and step back forward on the the top of your mat. So we're going to add on from there. Here we go. Inhale in mountain. Right leg first. Go ahead and step that back into warrior one. Cactus those arms. You see where we're going now. It's starting to have some repetition and starting to know where you're going to go next. Go ahead and pivot into that high lunge. You're on the ball of your back foot. And then go ahead and open up into your warrior two. So go ahead and adjust your stance. Make sure your hips are squared to the side of the room, to the side of your mat. You can look out over that left hand. And now we're going to pivot and come into a low lunge. So we're going to go ahead and drop our hands down, pivot on that back foot. Adjust your stance as you need to. Drop that back knee. You can untuck those back toes. And we're going to rise up into a low lunge here. Stay for another exhale there. And then go ahead and plant your hands, and we're going to step forward on our mat. Come all the way back up into a mountain pose. We'll go to the other side. Same sequence. Inhale and exhale into warrior two. Bring that left foot back. Cactus those arms. Pivot on that back foot. Come into your high lunge. So now you're on the ball of your foot. Open up into warrior two. So now your hips are squared to the left side of your mat. Look over that right hand. Now plant your hands, spin off the back of your back foot, adjust your stance, drop that left knee down, untuck those back toes if you like, and come on up into your low lunge. Stay here. And you can always, if you want to clasp your hands here, you can, or if you want to keep it just easier, just go ahead and keep your hands on your front thigh here. And then go ahead and drop those hands, step up into the front of your mat, come all the way back up into mountain. Mountain pose. We're going to add on another pose now. So go ahead and inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, warrior one with your right foot stepping back. Cactus's arms. Should seem really familiar by now. Pivot and come into your high lunge. So you're on the ball of your back foot. Open up into warrior two. Breathe in at your pace. And then go ahead and come into that low lunge. Adjust your stance as needed. Come on up into your low lunge. And from here, listen carefully. We're now going to come into standing splits or standing split-ish. So just follow my cues and I'll let you know what we're going to do here. So go ahead and bring your hands down to the mat. Step up and you're going to keep your hands on the mat and just rise that right foot up, right leg up any amount, and fold in any amount. So your splits might be a lower leg, it might be a lot higher than mine. It could be anywhere in between. So just see what feels best for you. Fold yourself in. And drop that right foot to meet the left, and then come all the way back up to stand in mountain pose. We'll do the other side so you know where we're going. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, warrior one. Cactus those arms. Pivot off that back left foot. Come into your high lunge. Arms up, reach, reach, reach. And then exhale and come into your warrior two to the left side. So your hips are square to the left. Look out over that right. Bring your hands down, come to that low lunge. Get there however is best for you. Adjust your stance. And now you know where we're going. We're going with splits here. Not as scary as they sound. So the leg doesn't have to go all the way up and actually be into a splits, but you get the idea. You're just lifting that left leg up in this case. So we're going to go ahead and drop our hands down. And you can always keep a bend in this right standing leg. So come into your version of splits, whatever that might be. Hands are on the ground. I'm trying to fold myself in a bit. And that left leg is coming up any amount. So it may be lower or you may be a lot higher. Just see where you're at. Drop that left foot down to meet the right. Come back up into mountain. And we have one more pose to add to this sequence. So now you know where we're going. Go through the whole sequence with one last pose at the end. Catch your breath here in mountain. Let all that go. Here we go. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, right foot back. Warrior one, cactus arms. Stay there for a moment. Take a breath here. And now we're going to come in our high lunge. Go ahead and pivot on that back ball of your foot. Rise your arms up overhead in high lunge. Savor this for just a moment and then open up into your warrior two. So now we're warrior two, facing the right side of our mat. Look over that left arm. Bring your hands down to the mat and step back into your low lunge. So go ahead and adjust your stance and come on up into your low lunge. We're going to go into our splits, and we're going to add another pose to this side. So go ahead and plant your hands, step up, and fold in any amount into your standing splits with your right leg up. Your left leg is your foundation. And then go ahead and bring that right foot back, come all the way up, and now we're going to come into tree pose on that right side. So go ahead, I'm going to turn so you can see me sideways here. Turn your right leg out, and go ahead and bring that foot anywhere on your leg except for your knee, and come into your version of tree pose. So find your point of focus. Focus there. We've got a nice balance here. If you're near a wall, use a chair if you need to. You can rise those arms up overhead if you like, as if your tree has branches. Maybe let the fingers go a little bit here, flex them. Hands back down to the center here, and release that right foot. Back down, back to mountain pose. Now you know the full sequence. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So here we go. Let's catch our breath in mountain pose. Close your eyes for a moment. Exhale. And then I want you to go ahead and inhale, mountain, exhale, warrior one, left foot back, cactus arms. Pivot into your high lunge, arms up overhead. Then we're going to open up into our warrior two to the side. Look over that right hand. Then go ahead and drop those hands down. Come into your low lunge. So get there however is best for you. Come on up. Look at the splits and tree. So here we go. Inhale there. Drop your hands. Your standing right foot can be bent, or right leg can be bent if you need to be. Go ahead and bend yourself in any amount and rise that left leg up any amount into your standing splits. Bring that left leg down to meet your right, and now we'll come into balance pose on the other side, tree pose. So go ahead, and I'm going to stay over here. It's a little bit more level for me. Turn that left leg out and bring that foot anywhere on your leg except for your knee. Don't want to stress that joint. Find your point of focus. Find a tree, even if like you may have it at your window, or if you're outside, find that tree as a nice point of focus. Stay there breathing. Use a chair or wall if you really need extra support. That's fine too. Let your hands go free if you like, your fingers, as if your leaves are waving in the breeze. Hands back down through the center. Another inhale, exhale, and release that and let that go. And we're going to sit back down. We're going to come back into that bound angle pose we started with at the beginning of class. So I'm going to turn this way this time. So go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up and get nice and tall. Bring your feet in closer if you like, or further out, maybe where you had them the first time. Decide what works best for you. Inhale and exhale, come forward at any amount. And just notice, is there any difference from the beginning of class, a little over 10 minutes ago, compared to now? And there may not be, or there may be. You may be like, wow, my legs really go down a lot further. So just that simple, short little flow help to open all of this up even more, and also just to move the energy throughout our body. So I'm a big believer in you don't have to do these long classes. I love a long yoga class, don't get me wrong. They're great when you have the time and when it works for your schedule or just your state of mind for that day. But sometimes the short ones, these little short classes can be great to fit into your day anywhere, and you walk away with a nice little buzz of energy and feel good. So go ahead and bring yourself back up. If you have the time, go ahead and lie back into Shavasana. I highly recommend that for any class, but I want to keep this without going over too long, so I'll keep it shorter. So again, if you have time, lie back in Shavasana. If not, no big deal. You moved your body. You've got some energy flowing throughout. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time.